ISUPK.
We want no cowards in our camp, in our camp. Holy man, prepare to die. We want no cowards in our camp, in our camp. Never let their brothers fly. We want no cowards in our camp, in our camp. Holy man, prepare to die. What they wavering, double up, pay the price and make them have to pay again. Answer the call, no blockers, no ball. You standing, you fall, so sick. What you don't get about this? You wait to take these niggas wavering. Now numbers, they want no drama, they want no mama. These niggas wavering, That's on the summer, that's on the motherfuckers. These niggas wavering, They want no smoke. To make it in, I just wanna be one my life, you gotta take it in. Project numbers, seen on the price, ain't got to break it in. All you run the suckers, MCs light, your paper thin, street lights on, take it in, cause you ain't gonna make it in. These Memphis City haven the sin, niggas ain't caving in, even if they paper spin, broken got no way for it. But I see you shaking in your motherfucking daisies, been the motherfucking baker meant for dough, just to rake it in, you know, staying safe within the code. Got me straight again, yo, I'm just making this for those, let my nation is supposed, you can say what's fuck no, bitch you wavering, these niggas wavering, now numbers, they want no drama, they want no mama, these niggas wavering, that's on the summer, that's on the motherfuckers, these niggas wavering, they want no smoke, they want no motherfuckers, these niggas wavering. Bitch, I'm the goat. Bitch, I'm the motherfucking goat. These niggas wavering. Action what they wavering. Double up, pay the price and make them have to pay again. Answer the call, no blockers, no ball. You standing, you fall, so sit. What you don't get about this, you wait and take a pic. Loud, I'm not waiting then to see the end. Serve shots, I'm a waiter then. Popped up, popped it in. Since a little kid, I got man. Defense like an S.
Perfect. I was gonna rip his heart out. I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Lynx is a conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody as ruthless. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me.
No affiliation, why they faking? This ain't for debating. We the real, they really imitation. I be contemplating why this ain't no like heavy rotation on radio stations. I just pray the Lord give me patience, cause I'm running through these rappers like my name Walter Payton. Shitting on these rappers, 9 to 5 is my occupation. Raw, you come in with your best troops, you best bring more. Already told you I got the juice like Orenthal. Already know what I'm about to do, bet your men fall. Everyone know that we got the truth, all your men falls. So boss, overtaking our enemies. Moves calculated and orchestrated like symphonies. Smooth operated when bringing haters to misery. Top 5 list ain't shit unless you mention me. Yeah, that's why we don't associate. Fuck niggas make them more fuck niggas while they procreate. Why they overhate? Cause they time is short and a moment late. Let it culminate to they harder race and it palpitate. Cowards perpetrate like they little group is respectable. Talking intellectual, all of you homosexuals, faggots.
There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious. I want your heart. I want to eat his children.
I don't want to congregate. I don't want to deal with you. I don't want to fellowship. I ain't trying to build with you. Ain't the UPK, ain't the truth. Keep it real with you. Defenders of the faith, I got no problem bumping heads with you. All that bullshit, you could take it over there with you. Rather be a houseboy. Rather run with them field niggas. Show them to put in work. Move mountain, crush hills, nigga. Take a dead soul. Breathe life and make it live, nigga. No affiliation, so it's no one to compare with us. Took the Lord's laws and just added it with fear, nigga. Aim for the body, cause you know like kill a head quicker. With these bars, I'm on my grizzly, so bear witness. You spit cold, I spit flu. Don't compare sickness. You floss diamond, I floss fringes. Don't compare dentists. You PK. We men the wall shit, we ain't Christian. Harm one of us, get pistol whipped like the gun got a belt with it. I'm bred different. The competition just a mill. I'm fed different. I stood front line on them fields, I bled different. I'd rather be a corpse than a coward. I'm led different. Shit, I'm led different. Come through like a juggernaut, so don't get in the way. And we take everything serious. We don't play. I wonder now what they gon' say. Shit, we make profits out of shooters like the NBA. You get slayed for switching sides, nigga. We ain't on the same page. Immaculate conception. Wow. These niggas bitch made. I'm sticking with the foundation where my bricks laid. You switch sides, I'd rather switch K's. You was never with us, nigga. Just know we on mission, nigga. Right hand hold the scriptures, nigga. Left hip hold the pistol, nigga. How you want it? You can get it spiritual or physics, nigga. Wrong ones to come against, so bring an army with you. No affiliation. When you see us, make the difference with us. No affiliation. When you see us, know we different, nigga. No affiliation. So no, you can't kick it with us. The wrong ones to come against, bring an army with you.
It's nothing I can say to make you believe. Yeah.
We ready to get it in, Quadash the Bar? Most High in Christ, man. We gonna get it in today, man. The first topic, man, or the main topic, going to be who can find a virtuous woman, man. Everybody heard that breakdown. You know what I mean? Many times, man. It's in Proverbs 31 and 10. We're gonna go into, what it entails to be a virtuous woman, because a lot of sisters are here, you know, claiming the title of virtuous woman, man. But when you get down into what that woman actually, what she represent, man, you know what I'm saying? You know, a lot of them sisters realize they fall short. Some of them I ask, man, they're like, that's a bad beat. You know what I mean? They're like, that sister there in Proverbs 31 and 10, that's a badass sister. Meaning, these sisters that respond like that recognize that they don't hold a candle to that sister. We're gonna break that down. We're gonna get off into a little bit more. I was on the phone with a mentor of mine, and we was going down through there in regards to what this woman is about. There's a couple scriptures in there that I wanted to clarify. Brothers had questions about it from a personal or a 101 topic. You know what I mean? And I wanted to make it clear for everybody. So we're gonna talk about who can find a virtuous woman and what that woman is. But first, I want to say this to everybody, man. Barak Atah Yahweh, while Yahweh Shah, man, Detroit, man, we embarked on a new school. We get our keys tomorrow, man. So, man, it's a blessing. to be able to come to the nation and let them know that, you know, we officially got a school. We got the barracks here where we've been holding classes, you know, for a few years, but now we officially have a school, man. So give yourselves a hand. It come from all that hard work on them slaveries, man. Handing over all of that cash, you know what I mean, to the landlord wasn't an easy thing, but it makes it all a little bit more bearable because of the men that's in the school, man. Y'all hard-working individuals, and I definitely appreciate every man that's in the Detroit camp, man. Excellent brothers that I'm amongst, and you know, like I said, man, Barakatah Yahweh, Yahweh Shah, man, congratulations, man. That's excellent work. All right. Any questions? Any questions out there on any topic? We're gonna get into those first before we touch bases on the main topic. Go ahead, Sarak.
Wakana, sir. I have a question in Numbers, the 22nd chapter.
Okay.
And it's verse, I believe it's verse 27.
Give it to me.
And it's speaking, Wakana.
Verse 27?
Wakana.
Go ahead.
Numbers chapter 22, verse 27. And when the ass saw the angel of the Lord, she fell down under Balaam. And Balaam's anger was kindled, and he smote the ass with a staff.
Go ahead.
Verse 28.
Like you would do with any horse that's not, you know, obeying your guidance, you would give him a little tap. You know what I mean, to get him to obey. Go ahead.
Verse 28. And the Lord opened the mouth of the ass, and she said unto Balaam.
And the Lord did what?
Opened the mouth.
And the Lord did what?
Opened the mouth.
Go ahead.
Of the ass.
Like think about what comes to my mind, right, when I hear open the mouth. Is similar to what he did when the woman was barren, when she couldn't have a baby. Think about those times where, you know, where it was something physically going on that prevented a natural thing from occurring. And the Lord did his special thing in order for that thing to occur. So, you know, a donkey has lips, it has a tongue, it has teeth, right? It has a vocal throne, right? We have the same, right? The difference is it has no understanding of language. Not the consciousness that we have, right? But if the Lord willed, he could do whatever he wanted to do with that mouth and those teeth and those lips and those vocals of that donkey. So the Lord did what? Read that part one more time.
The Lord opened the mouth of the ass.
Meaning what? When he say open the mouth, what does that mean? Go ahead.
Made him speak.
He gave him the ability to speak. Come. And not only that, the Lord put the words in the ass's mouth as well. Keep reading.
And she said unto Balaam.
And this donkey said unto his rider, to Balaam. Go ahead.
What have I done unto thee, that thou hast smitten me these 3 times?
Then whooped me 3 times to get me to keep going.
Verse 29. And Balaam said unto the ass, because thou hast mocked me.
Meaning you refuse to obey my commands. Keep going.
I would there were a sword in my hand, for now would I kill thee.
Meaning you both disobeyed me 3 times. And if I had a sword in my hand, he said he would smite the damn donkey and kill it. Keep going.
Verse 30. And the ass said unto Balaam, am not I thine ass, upon which thou hast ridden ever since I was thine until this day?
Meaning I've been loyal to you since birth damn near. Go ahead.
Was I ever wont to do so unto thee?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, Nay.
Meaning it's a reason why I'm not obeying you. That's what the donkey is communicating to Balaam. It's a reason. Go ahead.
Verse 31. Then the Lord opened the eyes of Balaam.
Now go ahead.
And he saw the angel
And then he saw that angel
of the Lord standing in the way.
Go ahead.
And his sword drawn
You
in
see
his
that?
hand.
And that's what the donkey was saying. The sword. So it's revealing to Balaam why the ass didn't proceed, despite the smiting, right? Despite the commands of Balaam, the donkey refused, even though it was a loyal donkey its whole life. Keep going. Now, where is your question in this breakdown?
My question was: so did the Lord make this donkey literally speak unto his brother?
Is that not what it said?
Come on.
It said that he opened the mouth of the donkey. Like think about before it said that it opened the mouth of the donkey. Did the donkey have a mouth? Could the donkey eat and chew, breathe, drink water? So when it says it opened the mouth of the donkey, is it talking about normal use of that mouth? That's that all donkeys have. So it's saying it did something different, something special with this donkey. Because it always had the ability to eat and drink, right? And breathe. Go ahead.
So when breaking this down, like to someone, in the world or trying to break down the scripture to them, or if they're just learning, you would literally tell them, this donkey speaking.
Well, a lot of times, what happens when you're trying to bring somebody into the truth, that they will give you an agenda, meaning like it's a way to fish people in, and a lot of times it's staying away from those things that's difficult for them to understand, and then focusing on those things that's easier to understand, in hopes that eventually after they understand the milk, they would be able to chew a little steak. That right there, a donkey talking is a little steak. You see what I'm saying? It's a little steak because donkeys don't talk. So you want to. What I try to stick to personally, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are Israelites. I don't even go into the white man as the goddamn devil even in explaining how we should embrace the Bible. I never go into those meatier, more heftier breakdowns for the average person to understand. I stick to, look, your slavery is in the Bible. Let me show you, Solomon was a nigga. Christ was a black man. Look at the hair on God in Daniel 7 and 9. Right. You stick to that and don't let them pull you to something that they wouldn't understand regardless of how you broke it down. You see my point? So a donkey talking is a little meatier scripture for those that understand the Most High can do whatever the hell he want to do. You see what I'm saying? Like, remember the Edomite when he had the audacity to call into Commander Junior Hunter's radio show and ask the question about the Garden of Eden, when he didn't even understand that the tree that he referred to represented a nation. Then he brought this scripture up to say that, just like this donkey talk, snakes can talk. But this breakdown specifically says what? What am I looking for? The Lord did what?
The Lord made that happen.
He opened the mouth of the donkey. It don't say that the Lord opened the mouth of that serpent, does it? Meaning that serpent that was born with the ability to talk. And we know snakes don't talk. So that serpent couldn't have been a literal serpent. It had to be a man. You see what I'm saying? So people, go ahead.
Sir. Someone I was speaking with, they said this. They brought this scripture up to say this is the reason why they don't believe in the Bible, because donkeys don't talk or something like that, or just had that refute.
Well, donkeys in general do not talk. but the Most High is capable of doing whatever it is that he wants to do. And the fact that you sit up here talking to me is a testament that the Lord gave an animal the ability to talk. You know, it goes to him, you know, in his own way, setting the bounds of the earth. Donkeys don't generally talk. They don't. But men do. What's the difference between you and a donkey? It's between your ears. If a donkey had the capacity to think and reason and will that you have, it would be able to talk in your language, in any language. So when they bring up that scripture to say they don't believe in the Bible, I get that. That's why it specifies that this donkey, the Most High, opened his mouth up. You see what I'm saying? Now, if you don't believe in God, if you just want to be a faggot, or slack, if you just want to be, you know, homosexual, if you want to slack, what's the word we're supposed to use? Gay?
Homosexual.
Okay, you sure?
Homosexual.
Okay, if you just want to be a homosexual and get out of the 99.9% of the Bible that makes absolute good sense, that's just what you're going to do. You're going to use one scripture to say, I don't believe in the Bible. Although the Bible says that the Lord created the heavens and the earth. What's more amazing? Creating a star, right? Creating the atmosphere, creating the earth, or making the donkey talk? I would say the latter. But for a person that don't want to believe in the Bible, they will search the Bible and find something that they don't understand and say, oh, this is the reason why I don't believe in that book.
Right.
Go ahead.
And if I may, sir, that's what made me just bring the question up so I can get a clear understanding. Because when he did bring it, it hit me off guard because I ain't never went down this path or seen this part of the Bible. That's why I'm bringing it to class to get a breakdown.
It shouldn't have frazzled you in the least bit. You've encountered people, me and you together, that just don't want to accept the Bible. He was one that wanted to be a little bit more craftier in his, denunciation of the Bible. That was him. He wanted to be a little bit slicker. So he had that in his arsenal already. This is why I don't believe in the Bible, because the Lord made a donkey talk. It's far greater miracles in the Bible.
Right.
Far greater than an animal that got lips and a tongue and teeth and the air that comes out of his lungs and vocal cords, right? It's far more greater miracles in the Bible than an animal speaking. Shit, a parrot speaks. For that matter, if you want to go there, you can teach a parrot to speak certain words. How is that so far-fetched if you've witnessed it already in the earth? You know what I mean? So this person right here just wanted to continue to be a homosexual.
Right.
I hope that's the right word. Continue to be a homosexual. And if I was you, I would question the person like that. Why is he even around you? Who the hell is this, man?
No, this is on Facebook.
Okay, most I ain't quite. Y'all be aware of these guys, man. They want to be your friend but don't believe in the Bible.
Right.
All right. You had something you want to add to it?
Kind of one kind, sir. And I'm in totally agreement with what you were saying, sir. Like how as thick as the Bible is, you concentrating on a donkey talking, and that's going to just discourage your faith.
Right.
You really just want to eat pork. You really just want to be a homosexual.
That's right.
That's what the Bible's about.
That's right.
Law, statutes, and commandments.
That's right.
Even the Muslims, they can't fathom the fact. They always say, well, the Bible's corrupted. They can't tell you what's corrupted that's in there. They just know what it is. So, I mean, it's just a reason to disregard the Bible. And after that, I shake the dust, sir.
Damn right. And that was my last thing to say to the brother, man. When they go there with you, man, despite the abundance of revelations that you reveal to them, the mysteries that you break down to them, if they go to a precept like that, man, never ever associate with that person again. Wipe the dust off your boots, man, when you're leaving that person's Facebook page.
So that's how to deal with the situation.
Well, I would say the best. I would, you're a good priest, man. Some people bring this topic up because they really need a good understanding on how to interpret it. Others may bring it up just to say, I'm going to live my best life. And those that does that, it's best that you wipe the dust off your boots, man, and don't even worry about them. You mark them when you do that. Mark their ass and keep it moving.
Because I know later down the line, many people gonna bring stuff to try to confuse us with.
That's
I
right.
just want to get everything,
I get you. That's an excellent question, and it wasn't wrong for you to ask that question. It was on point. But just know how to deal with people that don't. You know off the rip people that, like I encountered a guy. What was it? Maybe Wednesday or Thursday, and he said he had never believed in the Bible. Yeah, you know why he didn't believe in the Bible? Because of Christianity.
Mm-hmm.
Christianity is the mark of the beast, man. And as long as our people believe that Christianity is associated with the Bible, they're not going to believe anything that you say, because when they hear you say the Bible, it invokes Cedric Borgia, and all the bullshit that they've realized in the last few years has been a lie about the Bible. So you got to be crafty enough to let them know, brother, I understand your disdain with Christianity, but this ain't that. We're doing something totally different here. We're going to show you how Christianity has no place in the Bible.
Right.
I told the brother, I said, ask me any question that you consider a contradiction. I said, any question you got whatsoever that you consider a contradiction, ask me that question right now. And I'm going to show you how that is not in the Bible. And the first thing he brought up was the virgin birth. Easy.
Right.
Easy. And then I said, man, you know why the earth wants you to believe in Christianity? It's so that you will never read that Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people's history is recorded throughout the Bible. Mm-hmm. He said, man, come on, stop it. I said, man, did you know that slavery was in the Bible? Right. I said, the Bible was true. We didn't have a record of 99 million people being forced on a voyage and dying, man, and being discarded in the ocean. And the remnant of them being brought up as slaves under a people that they knew not. If the Bible was real, wouldn't that be recorded in it? The brother said, yeah. And when the brother said that, yeah, guess what I did? I did like this with the fishing rod. I yanked it in his throat, and I had him captivated. A man that professed initially that he would never believe in the Bible. I gave him two breakdowns that absolutely captivated his attention. You just got to be just crafty in the things that you want to break down. And then a lot of times, like I was saying, move away from those things that you know he's not going to be able to understand any goddamn way. Right. Like the donkey talking. That's what he wanted to hold on to, and his ignorance to say, I don't believe in the Bible. All right? Go ahead, Hebrew.
And then a lot of the times you got to look at the root of why people are saying what they're saying. Because the root of why he's saying what he's saying is he thinks the Bible was written by white people.
Now listen, you know what he said? Slogging, man. Kodash the bar is the holy word. Right. That brother said, well, didn't King James, wasn't he a faggot? Didn't he write this? Did I just say faggot, Slogging? But that was his words. Yep. But I said, yeah, there was a King James that was a homosexual, but you know they got King James the first, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth. This particular King James was not a homosexual. Right. And furthermore, he did not write the Bible. Mm-hmm. That's what they all think, that one man set up and wrote the Bible. That's what everybody think. King James, come on, brother. Let me listen. You think you're knowledgeable, and that's what you're going to face. They think they know. Right. So you got to be patient. You got to mix kindness with reproof, and you got to be gentle with the brother and destroying his whole foundation of his God. Because half of them praise the P. You see what I'm saying? Half of them infatuated with P. And the black woman is God. Right. So to tell them that thing that make you feel so good ain't your God is difficult. But just develop skills. Like General Muhammad is perfect in how he break everything down. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely perfect. Commander General Yohana, absolutely perfect. Many captains out there, absolutely perfect. I would say study some of them that had battles, right? And the battle, like Captain Mashak, and the battles wasn't necessarily, just cutting the head off of the person that was before them. But crafty in drawing them in into a reasonable discussion about whatever precept it is that they don't understand. You know what I'm saying? So you got to really, really be crafty nowadays, man, because it's so much garbage out here that the average person is and all of the garbage out here is designed to make you look at that Bible like it's a book that was used to enslave black people, and a book that was written by a white man and King James, right? They believe he was a white man, and a book that had not been inspired by God. That's what they coming at you with, right? Go ahead.
So, Salaki, if I could, that can't come with salt. There's only so much they can come with to try to confute what we say, right?
What they come with generally to refute everything that we say, in their mind, we come in with the same Christian doctrine. But we know that Christianity is the mark of what?
The beast.
And is it working on them at that time that they're refuting what we say? It is. Because they don't believe it, which is a tool that Satan has used through all of the confusion that's out there about the Bible to make them never want to embrace what we bring out. So you got to be armed with that knowledge when you're talking to anybody that believe they know anything about the Bible. Because nobody knows but the Israelite School of UPK about the Bible under Commander General Halley. We are the foremost authority on the Bible, and we prove it every week we go out to camp. Right. No one can contend with us in regards to the Bible. And you have to be patient enough to slip them jabs and deliver a knockout blow. You see what I'm saying? Don't be trading blows with him. Draw his ass in. Make him lock himself down to a statement that we know is not in the Bible, that he believed in the Bible through the philosophies that he heard about Christianity. Lock him in, and then do what? Bust his head with what's really in the Bible. Right. And then guess what you have? You have a man on the hook. You see what I'm saying? If his pride is not too big, you will bring him into the school. But if you don't have enough patience, you're going to fail. And this is fishing season, everybody. Go ahead, Mashal.
A question with that, the scriptures say, "My sheep hear my voice." Mm-hmm. And I think to how I came into the truth, and how the stories other brothers told about coming to. It was a non-starter. We heard the truth that's presented by the ISUPK, and we literally, for lack of a better word, cussed. Like, damn, now I know what that means. And it was like a great wake-up call, where these other people, it seemed like they hear the same thing, and they want to fight, they want to scream, they want to cuss, but it never occurs to them that this is the truth. Does that mean that they're not the sheep of the Most High?
It does not, and I'm gonna give myself as an example, right? I remember calling into class. Like, class used to be very difficult to hear, even to get into class. It was very difficult, right? And I called into class and I made a statement about some garbage. And I'll never forget the brother that was running the class. It was Captain Kahan, which is my goddamn man right now, right? That brother helped me change, perspective that I had been holding on to. And in the class, I was just like what you just said. I didn't want to hear it, but although I agreed with 99.9% of everything that I heard for months and months and months, right? And I think I was technically a student at the time, right? And he said a few things, and like when you're a student and you love the world and the things that the world is providing for you at the time, you're looking for any excuse not to join. Mm-hmm. Okay. First thing, you look for any bad blood, any brother to disagree with you. You're looking for that to not have to join.
That's true.
You're looking for excuses, right? That's why our mantra is no cowards, no excuses, right? So Captain Kahan said something to me, I said something back. I was totally out of order. Imagine a civilian that think he something, calling in and speaking to a captain or a general in the school. He's gonna be he's not gonna know he sounds stupid as hell. He's gonna think he's saying something profound, right? And totally refute what's broken down to him if he's so passionate about his position in the world. And that's what I did. So would I consider myself a sheep right now, I would absolutely consider myself a sheep that heard the sound of the Most High's voice or Christ's voice. At the time, on this particular topic, I didn't want to have nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to have nothing whatsoever to do with what that brother had said to me. And he said something that you could borderline call disrespectful. And that was my excuse to do what? Not be in the school. Oh, these niggas, fuck these niggas. I was doing better back doing this dumb shit. Fuck these niggas, right? And you know, I got a call in the order, and when I got that call in the order, it was from he wasn't. I think he was 5,000 at the time. He might even been 1,000. Salakia. Captain Marquardt called me and gave me some staunch orders that went totally against my pride. I'm talking about demanded me to do a thing that I displayed in that phone call that I couldn't do. I didn't have the capacity to do. So they called me on that shit, and I said back, and you know what I said to myself? I had to admit, I had to go deep and admit that even though I was offended because I was bitch made.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Borderline homosexuality is what I displayed in that phone call. I was a faggot and not worthy to even present myself before nothing God. That's what I had to realize. It took me about a week, but I followed them goddamn orders, and that's what you're going to find. Some brothers is going to refute what you tell them. And they only refute it because it's like a pool. It's that Matthew 6:24. Those two different worlds, man. You're going to hate one and love the other. And that's what you're going to experience with a lot of brothers that you fish in. They ain't going to initially say, shit, I'm selling all these goddamn keys and all these pounds and just give it all up. You think they're going to just give that lifestyle up because you came to them with the Bible? No, they're going to refute it. They're going to cry and moan and witch, you know what I'm saying, and do everything to continue their lifestyle. And look for the first thing that you say to them. Like a couple brothers in this room, the first thing you say to them, they're going to look at that thing, that's my excuse out. And it may take, I'm going to let you in, it may take you realizing after a week, that brother been stewing. So let me give you one more call. And I was blessed, because a lot of them brothers out there ain't giving you no second call. They wiping their goddamn boots. So the same mercy that I was shown, it's brothers in here I've called a second time to come into the school. And because I got that courtesy, I extend that same courtesy. Because it was shown to me. Because had that brother not called me, and this is what he said. He said, Commanding General Yohana orders you to call that brother and apologize to him. And call the radio show live. And apologize to everybody that listened to you say that dumbass shit. You know what I'm saying? To a priest and prophet of the Most High. And I had to say, Khan, I won't come. Because while I was stewing, you know what I realized? The only reason why I opposed that argument is because I wanted to continue in my lifestyle. And fishing, man, is about knowing when to set the goddamn hook. And when I got that call from Captain Marquardt, I believe he was 1,000 at the time. That brother absolutely set the motherfucking hook. Excuse my language. And when he came at me like a soldier, he didn't come to me like, oh, please, come call and do this and do that. You know how he came to me? Nigga, you better make this motherfucking phone call. You better call Captain Kahan, nigga, and apologize for that fuck shit you did, Salakia, y'all. You know, to the school. It was embarrassing and the goddamn disgrace for a man of your obvious integrity to go down that route when you know you're wrong. And I couldn't say nothing but Khan, I don't want Khan. I was praying for a phone call, believe it or not. My spirit was praying that one of them brothers would call me. You see what I'm saying? Because I was all in the world in all sorts of abominations. I was praying for that second phone call after that event, and I got it. And when I got that phone call, I followed the orders, and I ain't stopped following them ever since. So when you fishing, you want to make sure that you give a brother what he need, and not something too heavy for him to understand. He talk about a goddamn donkey talking. You know what I do? I say, man, you see these niggas in here is the children of God. He talk about a donkey talking. Nah, nigga, you see the Lord said he gonna put us on slave ships. He want to go this way. Nah, nigga, we right on this right here. Every black niggas is in the Bible. Did you know nigga is in the Bible? Let me show you this right here. Every time he want to pull you to something that he don't understand, you reel his ass. It's like a fish trying to get away from the goddamn fishing hook. You see what I'm saying? He running and you thinking, no, nigga, you see niggas right here in the Bible. That we will be sold to our enemy. And has a white man been your friend since then? Man, what you talking about, bro? Some goddamn donkey talk. Right. That's it. Niggas is right here, brother. This is our book. Right. Reel his ass back in every time he try to run. Swaki, who has something? I know you have something? No, you hit it on the head. Come on, Mosan Cry. Any Kudash the bar? Go ahead.
Like I heard General Muhammad say, because one day somebody asked a question like that, and he said, you know, you got to be aggressive with your teaching approach, not necessarily aggressive with the person, but never let them take control like that.
Exactly.
You know, Christians always say, God said this and God said that, and you just sit back and listen to the nonsense. So we got to tell them what God really said. In a situation like that where he talking to others.
That's my time.
Okay. Did you had a question though, didn't you?
I did have a question.
Give me the question before you leave.
Baba Kashar, if I could, sir, on abortion.
Okay, what was your question about abortion? I can deal with that real quick.
On abortion. What is our stance on people that have been raped, and that is their reason for supporting?
But supporting abortion?
For the people that have been raped.
Okay, I understand. Does the Bible condone murder in any regard?
No, sir.
It does not. Okay. The official UPK stance on abortion is we don't commit abortion. We don't do that at all. That's why it's so important for this truth to prevail over everything else we've experienced. Because if the truth is out there, right, and brothers are in the truth and understand that the Lord don't condone rape, then the fear of the Most High is the beginning of wisdom, and brothers will absolutely change their mind on rape. I've seen it. You understand that? I've seen it's brothers in the UPK that have committed such an atrocious act in their past lives, I should say, right? That understand that it was akin to murder. So absent of the truth, you have rape. But when the truth is out there and the Most High is in authority, right, you have none of that right there. So I would say, I'll give you a couple precepts on abortion. Exodus 1 and 18, Slaki 1 and 8 through 18, because certain has abortion or forms of it always existed. It was one time where our people would have children and put it in that goddamn calf and light a fire under that calf. You know what I'm saying? It has always existed down there. So, but the official stance on murder is we don't commit murder. Right. Because the Bible tells us not to commit murder. Kudash the bar.
Then even I heard General Yohana or General Muhammad said this, you know, because somebody asked that question. They said, send the kids to us. We'll take them in before we just let you murder. Everybody got multiple wives in the school and tons of kids.
I got a wife right now that's begging for a baby. You understand that? You bring that baby to Commander General Yohana. He's going to ask, who want to care for this baby? I'll be one of the guys that do like this. You understand that? I love the kids, man. Captain LeBon, Slovakia. Ain't no reason to ever abort a kid.
Right.
You understand? So our official stance, and the water for you bringing it out, I remember that breakdown myself, Dr. Bar. Our official stance on abortion is there is no such thing. On the bar. Yo, Bashim Shabbat Shalom. Y'all Shemar Bashim Y'all Shalom. All right, so no abortion in Israel. Any other questions? Any questions on abortion?
You like that one, Mother Shop for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a question on abortion. We are taught, the scripture said, I have no reason to divorce my wife unless she commit unlawful sex. Unless she engages in unlawful sex. So how is a brother to deal with a wife who he considers to be traitorous?
Traitorous?
To his house.
A traitor to his
she's
house.
Done something that could be considered being a traitor. How do we deal with that? She didn't sleep with anybody yet.
Okay.
But she might have gone to the police and told on him, or anything that a brother.
Now let me ask you a question, right? If somebody give me Proverbs 31, and let's start with any other questions off topic, because your question leads into the main topic. Anybody got any other questions that they want to go through before we go into the main topic? Nobody. All right, come on, let's get it, man. All right. So give me Proverbs 31 and verse 1.
Proverbs 31, verse 1. The words of King Lemuel, the prophecy that his mother taught him. Verse 2. What, my son, and what the son of my womb, and what the son of my vows? 3. Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings.
Okay, so this is some advice from a woman to her son, right? Sure. So this I would take this, because it's in the scripture, as advice any woman, any sister would give to their son. That's how I see this. And it says, give not thy what?
Thy strength.
Thy what?
Thy strength.
To what?
Unto women.
Unto who?
Women.
Which kind of contradicts what we've been taught in America, right? We're taught in America that it's pretty much the opposite. That you happy wife, happy life, or what is it? Happy wife, happy life, right? So the more you feed her insatiable appetite, this wife that's in the world, the more you feed her appetite, the better your life will be. That's what this woman is telling you never to do. And the society tell you that the more you feed her appetite for power and authority, much like the reward of Eve, right? That this society is going to bring you a certain amount of, or a certain degree of happiness. You know what I mean? But all of that over time, you know what I mean, translate into a diminished return. All you're doing is sleeping and going to work and waking up, and she's spending your check every week. You see what I'm saying? God forbid. You know what I mean? Some of y'all simple as hell out there. Believe that, you're supposed to go to work and give your wife your whole goddamn paycheck. You simpleton and Slovakia. I gotta be brutally honest with that. You's a dumb motherfucker.
Damn right.
You dumb as fucks. Man, Slovakia, man, I'm using this foul language, but y'all get my point.
Damn right.
You a simpleton. You know what I mean? Like the Bible says where your heart is where your treasure lies. So I would say that you should be giving more to the Most High and ushering in Christ and building schools and building up men and housing these men that are homeless because they refuse to give in to women and into society. That's what I would tell you to do. Pay your tithes, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, catering to a woman's loose desire, man, leads to the destruction of a man. You done gave her your strength, man. Now look at you. You got none. All right? Slovakia. Keep reading.
4. It is not for kings, O Lemuel, it is not for kings to drink wine, nor for princes strong drink. 5. Lest they drink and forget the law.
So what it's saying when it say that, I know a lot of people confused when they hear that. It's talking about the excessive partaking into anything. It ain't just talking about wine. It's saying like when you're obsessed with something. That's why, like if you read the verse above that, it said, "Give not thy strength to women." So being obsessed with a woman causes you not to adhere to the things that the Lord requires of you. You understand that? So anything that you partake in that's excessive, that make you drunk, right, is against the commandments of the Lord. That's that scripture right there. Keep going. You got something?
I got a precept for
Please.
Ezekiel 24:16.
Mm-hmm.
Son of man, behold, I take away from thee the desire of thine eyes with a stroke.
Mm-hmm.
Yet neither shalt thou mourn nor weep, neither shall thy tears run down.
Come. So what our responsibilities are is to not, fall prey to any of these things, man, that seem so attractive on the surface, and become drunk with it. You understand that? And engage it in a way that remove you from following the Most High. You understand that? Keep reading.
You in Proverbs or Ezekiel?
Proverbs, I believe.
5. Lest they drink and forget the law.
You see that? Lest they do what?
Drink and forget the law.
So it's talking about engaging in anything that's so excessive on your part. Like, man, that woman, I can't even listen. If that woman does not feel good, some of y'all won't even go to work, man. If that woman ain't happy, man, some of y'all, man, to sit up and be moping your goddamn self.
That's true.
You see that? She'll berate you on your way going to camp, and you'll be womp, all in class. You see what I'm saying? So that's what it means when it brought up the wine. We can drink wine. I'm drinking. Can you give me another one, not dissolved, if you could? I'm drinking right goddamn now. So that precept ain't got nothing to do with drinking. That's talking about being so obsessed with something that you become so drunk with it that you forget the law of your God. Like getting your ass up and going to camp because she crying and she whining that you're going to do a class and other women going to be in your class. Watching you in your class. What? Get the fuck out of here. It's lucky, yo, man. I gotta critique my language, man. My bad. I gotta become a little bit more craftier with the words that I use, but it's the passion for what I'm teaching that does that sometimes. Sloggy, no excuses. But a virtuous woman, man, wants you to come to class. A virtuous woman, you got this a mixture of the both? The water. A virtuous woman wants you to do this work. She ain't worried about where the hell you are at any given hour. Some of y'all women, your phone rings, she clocking you. Ear hustling and shit. You can't even send a text message out to your second in command without her thinking it's about some tail. So totally obsessed with Satan. She's giving herself over to the devil, man. And then everything you do now, listen, everything we do now is surrounding women. But that's what I did in the world. I did that in the world. I wouldn't be invoking those things here in the school.
Right.
I come in here because Commander General Yohanan, man, convinced me that Christ was our king. That's why we are here. All right? Keep reading.
And pervert the judgment of any of the afflicted.
Keep reading.
6. Give strong drink unto him that is ready to perish.
Give strong drink to who?
Him that is ready to perish.
That's right. Go ahead.
And wine unto those that be of heavy heart.
That's right. Everybody know that breakdown. I ain't got to go into it. Keep going.
7. Let him drink and forget his poverty.
Mm-hmm.
And remember his misery no more.
That's right. Keep going.
8. Open thy mouth for the dumb and the cause of all such.
And that's what we do, man. As priests and prophets of the Lord, man, I open my mouth for these dummies out here, man, that don't understand nothing, and hopes to convince them to come into the truth, man, and leave all those philosophies alone. Go ahead, Zara.
Come on, sir. The definition of dumb is a person who cannot speak.
Who can't speak for themselves. None of any. Listen, everybody outside the Israelite school of UPK, that's Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, you got to speak for them. They the dumb. They the blind. You understand that? So we open our mouth up for those that cannot speak. Because what comes out their mouth is the black woman is God. You dumbass. You's a dummy. So we open our mouth for those that can't speak, because even in their ability to articulate the English language, only thing that's coming out their mouth is what? Dumb shit. So I gotta speak for them. No, a black woman ain't God, man. It ain't nothing but death in that womb unless I put seed in it. If I don't put seed in that, man, that mother joker decays every month. And I got to get away from that goddamn death. I'm serious. That's the Bible right there. She ain't no goddamn God. I'm the God right here, and it's in my sack. Keep going.
Open thy mouth for the dumb, and the cause of all such as are appointed to destruction.
Keep going.
9. Open thy
Hold
mouth.
on. Open thy mouth for the what?
For the dumb.
And for who else? Read it louder, priest.
Proverbs 31:8. Open thy mouth for the dumb, in the cause of all such.
For the dumb and for the cause of all such, what?
As are appointed to destruction.
That are appointed to destruction. Every Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian in the earth right now, man, that's outside the Israelite school of UPK is bound, is destined to be destroyed. You opening up your mouth right now to save their goddamn life. That's our purpose right now. We call it to fish, to hook them and bring them into the school. That's the daunting task of the Israelite school of UPK in Detroit and abroad. But as it relates to us, that's our major objective right now. The Lord just blessed us, man. You got to get your fishing gear out, man, and get out there, man, and get the people in the school. We on the busiest street in the east side now. It's time. All right? Keep reading.
9. Open thy mouth. Judge righteously.
Do what?
Judge righteously.
Do what?
Judge righteously.
Man, I thought the judgment is reserved for the Most High. I thought only God can judge him. The scripture saying, do what?
Judge righteously.
That's right. Keep going.
And plead the cause of the poor and needy.
Do what?
Plead the cause of the poor and needy.
And that's what we got to do. That's what we do, and we will continue to do. We plead the cause for the poor and for the needy, man. You Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man, that don't have a pot to pee in or a window to throw it out. Nor have any representation. We represent the children of the Most High, man, in everything that we do. Keep going.
10. Who can find a virtuous woman?
Read it again.
Who can find a virtuous woman?
Why does it ask that question, Mashah? Leading into your question. You asked the question. Go give me your question again before you answer mine.
While a man is instructed by the Bible, we can divorce our wives if she commits a unlawful sexual act. We can't divorce her for anything else. So how he needs to deal with a woman who he considers to be traitorous?
Well, you find some unclean thing about her, is what you're saying, right? Give me that first of all, and I'm gonna take you back. But answer my question first.
Can you read the scripture again?
Read the last part again.
Proverbs 31:10. Who can find a virtuous woman?
Well, the question was, why is that question asked by?
Yes. Yes. Why is that a question? Who can find a virtuous woman? Why is that even in the Bible? I mean, like, you know, why is that there? Because if women were following the example that the Lord put out there for women, It wouldn't be a phenomenon, a strange occurrence, right? It would be something that's just shit, like speaking, right? Like every woman you get with, 90% of them would be virtuous, right? So why is that in the Bible? Who can find a virtuous woman? I'm gonna let him answer first, then I'll come to you. Go ahead.
So, Lakia, I think it goes to that scripture. The precept would be the Lord looked for. I can't remember. I'm paraphrasing. When the Lord looked, He found 1 in 1,000, but when it came to women, He found 9. So, virtuous women are so rare that if you found one, it's a very, very, very rare thing.
Okay, you're right, absolutely right, and I'm not saying that that's not the correct answer. I just want to add to it, right? The Lord, when he looked down on Adam, right, and He said, "It's not good that he shall be alone," right? Let me make him a helpmate for him. Sisters jump over that right there. You never hear sisters quoting that scripture.
Right.
That he needed a helpmate for him. Like, think about the Lord's reasoning for creating the woman. That's amazing, man. Like Slaki, I'm gonna take you somewhere else. The Lord, there's animals that are asexual. Who know what that means? Go ahead.
They don't have a particular sex, so they have both sexes at the same time.
Meaning they can create their damn selves.
Right.
They can reproduce on their goddamn own. But the Lord said it ain't good that he would be alone. He could have made, and you wouldn't know the difference if you was created to be asexual. Much like a snail, don't know the goddamn difference. And there's other animals that he created that produce asexually, right? He could have done that to man. But he said, no, I don't want him to be alone. Let me make him what? Somebody go to the precept.
Let me make it. Oh, Genesis. Genesis chapter 2.
Like the donkey talking? You find it so extraordinary? The Lord likewise could have, if he wanted to, given one species of man the ability to reproduce himself. He could have done that if he wanted to. He give you examples of that kind of in right now today. He could do that. That could have been his will if he wanted to. But he said, what? Read that precept for me real quick.
We're in the book of Genesis, chapter 2 and verse 20. And Adam gave names to all cattle and to the fowl of the air and to every beast of the field.
Go ahead.
But for Adam there was not found an helpmeet.
And for Adam there was not found any help. Go ahead.
And the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept.
Give me the point that I asked for.
18th verse.
18th verse. Go ahead.
18. And the Lord God said, it is not good that man should be alone.
And the Lord God said what?
It is not good that man should be alone.
And he made this decision on his own. He said it's not good that man should be alone. Go ahead.
I will make him and help me.
He's making me what?
And help me.
Making me what?
And help me.
Make him somebody that he should be a slave to.
Help me.
Make him somebody to take orders from.
Help me.
Make him somebody that would beat him down till he decided to follow their agenda.
Help me.
Make him a what?
Help me.
A what?
Help me.
A helpmeet. Somebody to help him. Somebody to assist this brother in his endeavors. To make it a little bit easier for him. That's why the Lord created the woman. If he wanted to, man, he could give you the ability to create yourself. And he gave an example of that to several animals in the earth. He could have done that, man. Personally, I don't want to exist nowhere with you Negroes without any women present. And that is the thoughts of every man that's hearing this breakdown. And I totally understand. But I'm just telling you what the Lord's capability is. At that point, he could have given Adam the ability to reproduce his goddamn self. Or in the creation, I should say. He could have given man the ability to create itself. But he looked down and said, man, let me make him something good and helpful for him. And he did that thing. Not a slave to her emotions. Not a slave to her loose desires, to her wanting eyes, and her outstretched neck. You see what I'm saying? That ain't why the Lord created a woman, for you to cater to all of that bullshit. The Lord created her so she could be a helpmeet to you in this work that we're doing.
That's right.
Make the burden, like we're going to read about, that this woman took on, a little easier for you. So you can go out and do what you have to do for the Most High. All right. So your question again, Michelle, give me that question one more time.
How does a husband deal with a wife who he considers to be a traitor to his house?
Let me show you something real quick. Give me that in what was it, Exodus? I asked you for a precept on where Moses gave the decree of divorce. Give me that real quick. I'm gonna show you the difference, and I'm bringing this up to show you the difference between what happened then and the burden that we are tasked to carry as of now. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy 24. When a man have taken a wife and married her, and it come to pass that she find no favor in his eyes because he found his...
Meaning what? Meaning what? Like, man, shit, man. It's like, I married this woman, man, and then a week later, man, I look at her and she done did some dumb stuff. And man, like, I regret I married her. And from that point on, man, I could never see anything clean coming from this sister right here. I'm so filled with you know, this stank in my goddamn mind for this wench. I don't even want to look at her, let alone even acknowledge her as my wife. Ugh. Right?
Okay.
What do you do in a scenario like that? Back then, let me give you the scenario, right? Moses, this is, what era of time is this? This is Moses coming out of Egypt, right? This is before they reached the promised land, correct? This is after leaving Egypt, before they reached the promised land, right? Moses saw the change in the men that remembered the disgusting things that their women had done. Think about, like, please.
Real fast.
Go ahead.
Piggyback. That go for the uncleanness. That go for sisters that talk too much.
Damn right.
That go for sisters that you got to constantly check about dressing modestly.
Damn right.
It was any uncleanness that the brother saw in that sister. Like if I could real fast. So like the so-called Native Americans, they would do it a lot. They would get rid of their woman for that uncleanness. So it wasn't just like you know, fornication, but it was any uncleanness. That's why I say it's any uncleanness. So if you was a rebellious woman, you would get divorced back then. So I mean,
no, you're absolutely right. And just think about this, what I'm about to break down to y'all, right? Think about, like say for instance, all of a sudden, Christ on the earth. No, Slaki. Say for instance, we leave this society right here. Right? And then we move from this land to a land where we got our own law, statutes, and commandments, finally. Right? And you taking your women with you, right? But because now, like we often say that the black woman is the chief advocate for the white man. She believed so much so in his society that she refute ours. So think about bringing women that have totally denounced this culture into a promised land, or on the precipice of a promised land, where the laws change, where she got to go from serving the power structure in that previous land to serving her goddamn man.
Yeah,
right? But he remembered what? He remembered child support. You see what I'm saying? The nigga remember all the times you called him a punk or a bitch. And he wanted to smack your goddamn teeth out, but he remained, he kept it clean because he knew he smack your goddamn teeth out. Who you gonna call? You gonna call a white man. You gonna call a devil to come to his doorstep and shoot him in front of his kids. So he held his peace and he endured you call him a bitch and a punk, when he knew all I got to do was thump this bitch and she's dead. But because her advocate, because of her chief lieutenant, which is the white man, my hands are tied. I got to endure this bitch. But then what? We come into the promised land where the white man has no rule, power, or authority. And you remember this bitch right here. They had dogged them women so much so that Moses, he decreed something that was not written in the law to give a bill of divorce when it was not meant so. Because you remember this bitch. You see what I'm saying? You remembered her filth. And she, in your eyesight, is unclean. And guess what you're doing every day? That young little thing, man, that came up to age. Ooh, you enjoying her right in the face of your rib that has called you a punk and a bitch. Because you wasn't bowing down and serving her in Satan's land. You see what I'm saying? So now you're like, okay, bitch, you stupid bitch. Okay, I'm going to just bang you and skeet on your back. And be done with you until next month. Or 6 months. And Moses saw how them brothers was doing them sisters and said, I got to do something about this. Let her divorce so she can go be with another. You know what I'm saying? And that's the only reason why that decree was ever put forth. So your question is, what do we do when we find some disgusting thing in our women presently that's unclean, like treachery, like what you perceive as treachery, I should say, or backstabbing you, right? What do? We endure it, man, because of what Christ said. You see what I'm saying? The only reason you can divorce any woman is if you find her sleeping with the cat or the dog or some other man, right? But how do you cope with a perceived offense to you that your wife would create? You deal with her just like you would deal with any little adolescent child, man. Stop thinking of your woman as your equal, first of all. She's not your equal. That's the mark of the beast. If you think your wife is your equal, you missed the mark. She's not. She's just like some little kid that would do any little silly thing that you would have to chastise. And if you looked at her like that, you would understand that what you perceive as an offense to you is really what a kid would do anyway, man. You see what I'm saying? And I'm privileged to understand your scenario and the reason why you asked that question. And I would say, to your point, right, that what you perceive as an offense is really not an offense, even though you may think the motivation behind what occurred was treachery. The reason why that is on the forefront is because the Most High chastised those he loved. You understand that? You were his son. You know what he did to make that shit come out? He went around his goddamn elbow to make it come out. Think like that. I thought I had this, like I got a thing that I might do that I don't think nobody might know about it. You know what the Most High gonna do with me? He gonna make it come out. What's in the dark? What? That's right. That's all. Think of it like that, and then you won't think her fault, her treachery. You would think the Most High will. You see my point? Go ahead. Give me more. Go ahead.
I understand your point clearly and respect it heavily. And yet, Edom was used to get Israel's attention back to them, but they went overboard with this shit. And so they have to suffer. They're going to suffer for what they did to us.
No, this ain't the same thing.
It's not the same.
It ain't. Listen, you don't even have a reason to be against. You don't have a reason. What I'm gonna tell you, you know how much mercy you received. You don't even see that. Like I made a, blah blah blah, and guess what, brother? You loved and respected. Nobody, thinking one way or the other. It's real easy. But trust me, I understand where you're coming from. You know what I mean? Where it's like you feel that you've been betrayed. If you feel you've been betrayed, blame the Lord. Because he loved you. Go ahead.
So like if I may, Alan, if respecting what we said earlier, it's not necessarily a feeling of betrayal. My feeling is the Most High loved me and dealt with that for me. But in using the person that he used.
Perfect. It was perfect. That's the only person that could have brought it out. The only person. Nobody else could have brought that out.
I'm done with it.
You talking about the woman still, right?
Come.
We talking about, but me and him just flocked. We just had an inside conversation. Nobody else is privileged to it. But I know why he asked that question, and that's based on the breakdown. And the breakdown I gave him, I should say, is in response to what I know he was thinking. You see what I'm saying? And we probably need to talk a little bit more after class or whatever. But what I want you to walk away with is this right here. That had to happen. To feel any other way is not understanding that it had to happen. That's why you need counseling. It had to happen. Because you'll be sitting up here thinking like, imagine this right here, everybody. You thinking you doing everything right. Christ come down here and tell you, nigga, give me your neck. And he pull out his sword. He go, whoa. Didn't I prophesy in thy name? Ain't that in the Bible? Didn't I do what you asked me to do? And he's like, Lord, no. You see what I'm saying? I don't know who you are, man. You see what I'm saying? That's the scenario right there that you should be thinking about. And I'm telling you, the worst thing is and this is what I learned from General Muhammad. The worst thing is when you don't know that you don't understand the chastising. You don't understand that you've done something that's offensive to the Most High. That is the very worst scenario to be in. To be thinking, or you can smoke a crack pipe or shoot some dope, or this ain't no little dope in the vein every now and then. Or I just pop the hoe every other month. I used to pop the hoe every weekend. Now I'm just pulling prostitutes every other month. And for you to believe, right, that because you ain't screwing 100 prostitutes a year, and you didn't reduce it down to 10, that somehow you're clean now. Think if you really believe that. Oh, I ain't fucking all them hoes I used to bust. I'm just screwing 5% of what I used to screw. They gotta account for something. Christ come down here and said, "La, you might as well. If you screw one, you might as well screw 50. Give me your neck."
If I could, son.
Go ahead, priest.
You give a precept for the brother's question.
On which one?
About what he should do for the woman.
I got one.
You can give me one, but the main precept is what Christ said, and you already know what he said.
You can't divorce her.
You can't divorce her.
If I could, though.
Please, you got another one? Go ahead.
We do something a little different than the UK. We know we can't divorce her, of course, but the bitch could get put on timeout all day.
The reason why I'm not going there,
They'll do that?
the reason why I'm not going there because she committed no offense. To the brother, he believed in his mind. That's why he need further counseling, that she committed an offense. Really, the sister has saved the nigga life, and he's seeing it as an offense. Regardless to her, what her motivation was behind it, that's irrelevant. The fact that the Lord used her to bring something that was in the dark to the light, so the brother can get the proper counsel on, is the significant thing that you should focus on. She like the donkey talking. You see what I'm saying? She like the donkey talking. In her mind, she speaking because she don't want to get whacked by the angel. The angel wasn't there for the donkey. The angel was there to cut his fucking head off. Not for the donkey. The angel was there for the man. You see my point? The angel was not there for your rib. The angel was there for you, brother. Embrace that, and then you don't need no counseling. All right, go ahead, Dr. Bart. Hold on, Slocky. Go ahead, Kazak.
To the point of what you just said, I had an incident with that. I don't know if you yourself or my daughter y'all remember, but I had it's two things. I heard in the class where General Muhammad said women love to try to bring things to the light about you, and then two, I had it happen to where she came to you and her daughter y'all to basically try to
get us against each other.
Set us against each other, and then snitch on me and make me feel some type of way. In all reality, her doing that, y'all need to cancel. I need to stop doing it.
That's right. So she is irrelevant to what's in her mind, right? Like, listen, whatever you do in front of your rib, I'm gonna find out about it. Commander General Yana gonna know about it. No matter what you do in front of your rib, it's gonna come out eventually. She gonna tell another sister. That's gonna tell another sister. Eventually, it's gonna get back to Shawak. Then Shawak gonna hit Daryala. The Daryala gonna hit me up.
Right.
No matter what you're doing. So what I would do in this school is, really mind the things that you're doing, man. Like, don't what's the precept I'm looking for? Don't yield your members.
Right.
For nobody. Not for somebody's comfort, enjoyment, eroticism, nothing. You know what I'm saying? Don't yield your members, man. When you do that, you become a victim to that person that you yielded to. All right? Go down to the bar.
What about the scripture? Would this go with it? Do not bear any grudge against the children of Israel. Like bearing a grudge.
That's something that I've been dealing with last week, man, about, certain people that reaching back 3 years ago on me. I ain't the man I was 3 years ago. Right. I ain't the man I was last year. Right. I ain't the man I was a month ago. You know what I'm saying? We are constantly evolving in this truth. Right. So if you got somebody that's constantly going back to what you did 2 years ago, they don't understand how this system work we in. It's stages to this thing, man. Initially, you're dealing with an officer, you know what I'm saying, above you. Then you become the man that's dealing with officers below you. So, it's much burdens on the brothers in here, man, to maintain a certain level of discipline, because it has to be that way in order for the men below you to understand what we're doing. That's right. So you constantly evolving. So anybody that would say, you the same as you were 2 years ago based on what they perceived as an offense, don't understand the truth whatsoever. All right, let's get the next precept out. It was Proverbs 31:10. The reason why you got something before that, go ahead.
No, that was my first question about the virtuous. The word virtuous before y'all got into this. I heard a breakdown where it say the word virtuous means skillful.
Man, General Muhammad just gave me that today. The word virtuous means skilled and Slocky. I believe you're right. It means skilled. I just was told that today in Slocky. Go ahead. You got it for me?
I looked at it in there. It ain't in there. But
it's in the big one then. If it's not in that one, it's in another one. Virtuous. Actually, look it up. Slocky, go
ahead. And why I say that, I know I had heard it, and then to back it up, the scripture telling you all type of skillful stuff that she's doing in that scripture. Plus the one y'all brought out in Genesis where it say, I made a help me. That's another precept for her doing some work and helping you. And that's it. And then I'm gonna have another precept.
Yeah, Most High in Christ. I want to kind of speed through this because we just spent nearly an hour on it. I want to get this breakdown out there.
It's a definition.
You got it? Go ahead.
Virtues. Virtue in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary often involving.
What page is that?
Page 601.
Page 601 in the Zondervan's Compact Bible Dictionary. Go ahead.
Often involving moral worth, any excellence of a person or a thing, power, influence. The phrase virtuous woman is literally a woman of ability.
Of a what?
Of ability.
A woman of ability that has skills. Of ability, right? Many, many skills. And if we read down throughout this scripture, man, this woman, man, she can cook from sea to shining sea. She know the recipes on the Mediterranean. She know the Issacharite recipes. She know the Benjamite recipes. She come here and cook some Italian for you, man. No matter where she is, man, she represents her skills in many, many ways, many, many fashions, man. So she's a woman of ability, all right? And the scripture is saying, who can find, think about this, who can find a woman of ability? Because, listen, nowadays, and even back then as we read Isaiah, women, man, they had kind of thrown away the skills and the ability and just went with the physical things. So who now can find a woman of ability? Think about now, man. You're looking for a woman, man, and the majority of things you're looking for is a big old tail and some big breasts. You ain't looking for whether or not this woman can go and earn some goddamn money. It's some sisters in the school right now that are money earners and ain't nobody messing with them because they ain't got that big old thing dragging it or that you know, what you perceive as a pretty face. There's some sisters out here that got money and have abilities that ain't nobody looking at. That's a goddamn shame, man. That's a goddamn shame. It's disgusting as far as I'm concerned. Money and abilities. And showcase it every week looking for a man that shows some interest. And ain't nobody showing no goddamn interest. That's disgusting. So who can find a woman of ability? Go ahead. Keep reading.
Proverbs 31 verse 10. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. Which means what, man? This woman is, you know what I mean, she's a woman that is you know, she's so valuable that she's nearly priceless. You know, because what's out here on the average is, you know, it's pretty much a woman that's going to want to take from you all the time. This woman want to enhance you. She want to be that helpmeet that we learned about in Genesis, where the Lord looked at the brother and said, "It ain't good that he be alone. Let me make him a helpmeet. Let me make him a woman that's skilled enough to benefit the brother, not absent of skills where she can't benefit him anything." Who can find such a woman, man? Especially nowadays. Keep reading.
The heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil.
Is that part of your question right there? Somebody find, look up spoil in your concordance real quick. Look, see if spoil is in the Zondervan real quick. So that he would have no need of spoil. Like, what comes to mind when you hear spoil is what? Mashah.
First thing to mind comes is sour milk. That's like the first thing that comes to mind when you hear spoil.
Okay, that's on it. Kazak.
Usually when you hear something spoiled, like a person spoiled, it's more so like you think like the little kids you give everything they want.
That's another one that come to mind. Natazar.
So take advantage of.
To take advantage of. How? Give me more on that. How would that be?
Like spoil, like you're almost like you're owned or won over.
Almost like what?
You're one or
you're what?
You're one like
one.
You're won over.
Or won over. You're
Yeah.
convinced of something, right?
Yeah.
It's not the right one.
Give me that one. It says.
It's not the right one.
Just give it to me.
Spoils, Underwritten Bible Dictionary, page 565. Plunder, taken from the enemy in war. Pillage, booty, loot. The spoils of war were divided equally between those who went into battle.
Slocky, go start from the top again.
Spoil, plunder, taken
Plundered.
from.
Hold on. Plundered. Okay, that means you didn't plunder the enemy. Taken from. Go ahead.
Taken from the enemy in war. Pillage.
Pillaged. Go ahead.
Booty.
Booty meaning for taking. Go ahead.
Loot.
Who?
Loot.
Loot. L-O-T.
L-O-O-T.
Loot. Okay.
The spoils of war were divided equally between those who went into battle and those who were left behind in camp.
Okay, no, that's not the one I'm looking for. The one, like, I like the spoiled milk, believe it or not, because if you're a man that believes that, you know, that when your woman goes to California, that she's with, let's say, with another man, what would you be doing in your own hometown?
Getting with her friend.
Popping hoes, getting with her married friend, popping hoes. And when you do things that's against the Lord, against the law, what happens? Go ahead.
You're going to receive a punishment. The wages of sin is death. You can't sin.
So you become spoiled. You become a prey. Almost that definition right there. You become someone that is on the punishment end of the spectrum. Somebody that got something coming to them. So when it says that he would have no need of spoil, it's saying that he wouldn't have any need to bring some disgusting thing upon himself. All right, keep reading.
Verse 12. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life.
She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. All right, that's self-explanatory. Keep going.
Verse 13. She seeketh wool and flax and worketh willingly with her hands.
Now these are things that a lot of women believe and I see it a lot of time on Facebook, right? Where a woman that claim to be virtuous, but in the next breath, she would say that, that basically her man has to be her slave. That he has to cater to all her desires. I even hear it's a lot of times they bring up polygamy, or multiple wives, and say that he must have the ability to provide for them in a financial type of way. Right? So that means, say you got 10 wives, right? And they got 10 separate houses, right? You would have to do what if that was true? And you would be working nonstop. Right. You would never cease in your working, right? That is not what this breakdown is about. It's not about some man that has to go out and take on X amount of slaveries in order to provide for his many wives.
If I could, sir.
Please.
I don't know if I'm going off on this, but it's somewhat similar to a man running his household with his wives, polygamous or whatever biblical marriage like we would call it. It's similar to a king running his kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
That king doesn't work. People come and pay tribute to the king, and he becomes richer because of the people sending in the taxes or whatever, what have you. The same way with that man and his 10 wives. They all got jobs, and he got kids, they got kids. They were all paying the tribute to the king, and that's where he would have the wealth to take care of everybody in the kingdom or the household.
That's correct. And go ahead, Michelle.
Question: well, the precept to that would be that a woman is subject to her husband, even as the church is subject unto Christ.
Damn right, that's a precept. In all things, man. She's subject to her husband. You know what I mean? Like, you mean, like, the precept to it is this right here. That she would submit herself to her husband as unto the Lord.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? As unto the Lord. Like, you hear a lot of women talking about all of these things that they would do for Jesus. Meanwhile, that man is miserable at home.
Right.
They don't understand the concept of Christ and how the Most High set up the earth because they got the mark of the beast in their forehead. So who can find a virtuous woman? The only people that are capable of even knowing what a virtuous woman is are the men in the Israelite school of UPK.
That's right.
And you know what they do with us? They dub us pimps.
Right.
And you know, men that hate women. When really, this is what I tell my women right here, right? I let them know that if I yield to your perspective, we ain't gonna make it. You ain't gonna make it. And I'm damn sure ain't getting into the kingdom being such an effeminate. You know what I'm saying? I got to tell you exactly the way it is, whether you accept it or not. It's this way right here. This is the way it's going to be. A virtuous woman says, "Con out of one con."
That's right.
Some whore that's raised in the Christian church, in this Christian society, is going to buck and refute everything you say every step of the way. But unless you maintain your fortitude, right? If you don't maintain it, if you give in to her BS, everybody die. You see what I'm saying? You die, she die, Christ gonna butcher your ass. Because you ain't fit to run nothing in the kingdom of heaven because you're a P to your P. She calling you B's and P's every goddamn day. Hollering and screaming at you because you won't do what she tell you to do. And then you say, okay, baby, and you know what that's kin to? Con out of one con. Beating your ass down so goddamn much till you say, okay, baby. Which means you just said what? Con out of one con. You pea. You just a wet, juicy pea. And I gotta tell you, man. That's my job to tell you. I know a lot of times, man, I'm telling brothers and their women is hearing it and they don't like me for saying it, man, but you got to come from up under the skirt of your woman, man. No matter what she telling everybody about you. Come from up under her skirt, no matter what she does. Because a virtuous woman, man, is a very, it's like finding a Loch Ness monster. All these goddamn women talking about virtues, man. You as rare as the Loch Ness monster. Give me the next precept. I'm telling you, you as rare as the Loch Ness monster, as Bigfoot. All y'all out there talking about you virtuous, nigga, please, man. Shit, man, if you virtuous, man, your husband got a school, got a big ass camp, a big following, and he ain't doing nothing, and you doing everything. That's a virtuous woman right there, man. The priests and the Levites, man, got to go out in the field right now. You know how much goddamn work I'm doing? Shit, I was just crying. I was womp at slavery. I'm looking at everybody doing at camp yesterday, and I'm sitting in slavery. You better not ever say you so goddamn virtuous. Get me out of hell if you so goddamn virtuous. Stop running your goddamn mouth and follow orders. I ain't got no goddamn virtuous woman. Salakia. Because I'm doing too much goddamn working at that fucking slavery. You see what I'm saying? And the majority of y'all out there fooling these women, man. Well, they hate to hear Captain LeBon. Because ain't none of you out there goddamn virtuous because your man is slaving every goddamn day. Well, we should be what? Ushering in Christ. The more we out there on the street preaching, the faster Christ coming to the goddamn earth. Instead of we buying fucking hair and nails and paying car notes and shit. And you want to talk about you virtuous? Please. Hell out of here, man. Salakia. Give me the next verse.
That's a personal cap. Salakia.
Come. Shit. I gotta go slave every goddamn day. And that mother depressed. We just got a school, man. Who gonna pay for all of this stuff? Keep going.
Proverbs 31, verse 14. She is like the merchant's ship. She bringeth her food from afar.
And most of y'all only cooking Judite food. You don't know nothing about no Issacharite, no Benjamite. You know what I'm saying? You ain't cooking nothing but Negro food, man. You know how to do your French fries and hot dogs. Slovakia, keep going.
Verse 15. She riseth also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household.
Go ahead.
And a portion to her handmaid.
Man, come on, man. You know, man, your woman ain't waking up at 4 in the morning.
Right.
You ain't waking up to beef, bacon, and eggs and biscuits from scratch. You see that? You ain't doing that, man.
That sound like grandma.
Man, come on, man.
No.
Come on now. Don't it sound like granny?
That sound like grandma right there.
Definitely not your wife. Who can find this woman, man? The Bible ain't lying, man. Who can find her? She a rare phenomenon, man. She ain't common. Nobody should be offended at what I'm saying. And like I said, I've asked women this question, and they like, that's a bad bitch. Meaning what? I ain't heard it. That's what they mean. Now, I advise all you women that think you virtuous to read Isaiah, the 3rd chapter, and then Isaiah part of the 4th chapter, and see where you fit in that spectrum right there. Keep reading.
Verse 16. She considereth a field and buyeth it.
Go ahead.
With the fruit of her hand, she planteth a vineyard.
This woman right here, man, is skilled. She considered a field, a place where she can set up shop to make money. She considered a field, man, and when it says she planted a vineyard, meaning she started doing like making t-shirts, making candles, making oils, and incense, and garments, and clothes, and shoes, and boots. She considered this field, man, and did something amazing with it. She said, man, this right here, it could be this business. I can do this right here with this particular location. And she purchased it. Keep going.
She girdeth her loins with strength, and strengtheneth her arms.
Her loins is her core. You know what I'm saying? And the metaphor for her arms is she put on the necessary strength to do this daunting task of building this business from nothing, from her vision of it to being a profitable entity. Keep going.
Verse 18. She perceiveth that her merchandise is good.
Go ahead.
Her candle goeth not out by night.
When you hear that she perceiveth her merchandise is good, what does that say about this sister? Think about a sister that always got her hands in something beneficial. That always got her hands in something that is, that is representative of a good thing. A sister that is in gainfully employed, that's earning, that typically is what type of sister is a rock?
A sister that.
What does she feel about all of these abilities that she's able to? What does she feel about herself?
She feel that she independent, or she some.
How can she be independent when she belongs to someone? What does she feel about? Read the verse one more time.
She perceiveth that her merchandise is good. Her candle goeth not out by night.
Now, think about a sister that, you come home, man, she in the bed sleeping. She ain't thinking about you. What does that verse mean? Her candle goes not out by night. What does that mean, Mashah?
That means that
she does what it takes. She don't use the excuse of I'm tired, I'm depressed, too much of this happening. She puts the work in, even at night. She goes to
what work is she putting in at night? Is she out there in the vineyard? Everybody's asleep. Is she selling clothes?
No.
What is this woman doing at night?
This is the behind the scenes stuff. There's paperwork and other stuff that goes on to make a business. And I don't know if it's just paperwork, but it's other stuff that goes on to keep you.
You're not listening. I just gave it to you. She ain't doing no goddamn paperwork at night.
Oh.
What's she doing at night, man? When that candle is lit. What does that candle represent?
She takes care of her husband.
That's correct.
Sir.
So what? Think about the contrast from a sister that would do that, right? And the contrast of a sister that, when you come home, that candle is out. She sleeping.
If I could, sir.
Please.
Something so heavy sisters be saying in the world. I worked all day. You know, I come home, I done worked all day, man. We gotta eat out or something. I ain't cooking tonight. She done did her little 8 hours at the slavery. Or what have you. So her candle went out at night. She ain't doing nothing.
So a sister like that, what is her spirit like? Is she, think about it. What's her spirit like with Dr. Bar?
Narcissistic and self-indulgent.
Is she, I'll give them that too. Is she happy? That's what I'm looking for. This sister's not happy. All the work that she's doing, she don't realize that you should be doing all this goddamn work. You know, it's necessary for you to work harder. So listen, if all of our women worked as hard as we did in these slaveries, right, and brought all of that bacon home, what would it give us more time to do? Go ahead.
Fish.
That's right. What is the Lord waiting on?
Fishermen.
Give me something else. What is he waiting on in order before he bring Christ? Zerah.
144.
Go ahead.
12,000 men out of each tribe.
Man, come on, man. That's all we got to do is go get 12,000 out of each tribe, man. If a sister really want to come out this hill, if sisters really want to come out this hill, guess what they would do? Tell him, man, you quit that job, I got this all covered right here. You get out there and you bring Christ home.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
You see my point?
Count on God.
You get out there and you do what you got to do, and you bring Christ home. I got this right here.
That's right.
That's a virtuous woman. This chapter, like you hear a lot of them fake ass Christians out there in fake Israel talking about, well, he got to be able to afford more than one wife. Oh, you such a homosexual. Is that the right word to use? You such a mojo, man. Come on with that old gayness, man. Why you got to bring that up in here, man? And then, you see a lot of sisters on them pages that then totally embraced everything he's saying. Right. He the man for saying that, ain't he?
Right.
Man, get the hell out of here. Keep reading.
Come.
I did too, Dr. Bar, before we done. I did want to, I think 1 or 2 stories we had that we wanted to bring out.
Yeah, we got 20 minutes.
20 minutes. Come on, let's try to zip through this real quick. Go ahead.
She laid her hands to the spindle, and her hands hold the distaff.
And this, I think for here in the next couple of verses, it's talking about all the talent that this sister has. Jumping down another verse.
Verse 22. She maketh her covering of tapestry, her clothing is silk and purple.
Man, this sister right here got it going on. Absolutely satisfied with what she has. This is a happy sister. This sister is content with her service to her husband. Keep going.
Verse 23. Her husband is...
Can I get my screen back with Dr. Bar? Go ahead.
Her husband is known in the gates. When he sitteth among the elders of the land.
This sister right here, man, because she got such a awesome reputation, her husband is known based on the work that she does. She got a vineyard, she got a business, you know what I'm saying? She got maidens that she raising, you know what I'm saying? A household she governing, right? Her food come from afar, meaning she cooking every goddamn cuisine, man, from any a nation. You know what I'm saying? You can go over her house and get Chinese food, Japanese food, Italian food, the 12 tribes. This sister right here got it going on with what she brings to the table. Keep going.
Verse 25, she maketh fine linen and selleth it.
Go to the next verse.
Verse 25, strength and honor are her clothing.
Strength and honor are her clothing. Go ahead.
She shall rejoice in time to come.
All right, this is a question that I have. Read that part one more. Read that scripture one more time.
Strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in time to come.
When I initially heard that right there, right, in my mind, this is the question that I asked myself. I said, damn, if she gonna rejoice in time to come, what's she doing right now? If she gonna rejoice in time to come, what's she doing right now? And I don't want to set nobody up to answer it wrong, because that was something that entered my mind, and I posed the question wrong in my mind. And what I said was, if she's not rejoicing now, if she got to rejoice in time to come, she ain't rejoicing now. Meaning this sister is not happy. But when you read everything before that point, you see that this sister absolutely got everything going on, so she has no reason to be unhappy. Gainfully employed. Her husband has a solid reputation based on what she does in the world, right? Her kids dressed in scarlet. They fly as hell every day, right? And her cuisine is off the goddamn chart. Everything that I personally know that makes a woman happy, this sister has it. So what you want to extract from that, she shall rejoice in time to come, is this sister understands that the condition that we're in. You see what I'm saying? That, she's happy now, but rejoicing is going to come when what? Everything is set right. You see what I'm saying? But she's absolutely happy in everything that she did. Any other questions on this topic? Who has something they wanted to add? All right, let's go to the next one real quick. I did want to touch down on two little points. And what was that, Kodash Tabar, we wanted to bring out?
It was black people hugging on that woman.
Man, come on, man. Give me the precepts that we came out with as well. This right here, the most disgusting thing that I've seen in quite some time right here, man. Quite some time. I haven't seen something this appalling. Like this woman, you know what else came out about her? That she had put out some racist text about black people. She said that all I'm working with is black people, and it's a little different when I work with them. Niggas don't work like white people work. It's another comment that she made.
You want me to play this video?
Come on, but then play the video, but give me the comments that she made.
Oh, the comments she made?
Yeah, find those comments that she made about black people. And she was a whore, sleeping around and shit. You know what I'm saying? Probably was sleeping with that brother and killed him.
I was thinking that too.
Dang, I need her name. I couldn't find her name. Amber. All right.
Listen, just put in there racist comments made by her. Okay, you got that in there. No, that's good.
State reveals racist. Okay. So you want to go over this first?
Yeah, I just want to put that out there, that this woman had made several racist texts about black people, but was able to go in there and convince even the judge that she was not racist. And the man, the brother of the victim hugging on her, man.
Oh, they got her. All right, I'm gonna read it and put it on the.
Yeah, do that.
State reveals racist and violent text social media comments during Amber Geiger sentencing phase. Despite the defense's objections, the state was granted permission to show jurors text messages and social media posts linked to Amber Geiger.
Meaning, like, this woman, you know, like, think about this. She walked into an apartment. The brother was not armed. All right? The black man was not armed. What came out during the trial is she aimed her gun in the area where she understood if she pulled the trigger would render him a dead man. So instead of her following protocol, which was to bag out the building, bag out the door, and then call for backup, instead of her following protocol, she elected to squeeze two at the brother. Hit them at center mass with a police-issued firearm. And we know them bullets that they put in them firearms and the grain behind them, man, is designed for maximum penetration and maximum devastation. And they asked her directly, when you squeezed the trigger, were you trying to kill him? And she answered, yes.
Wow.
Yes, I was trying to kill him. Even though she was at the door and he was somewhere in the apartment. She could have easily bagged up out the damn apartment, right? And closed the door and called backup. Right? She could have easily squeezed two at his stomach, you know, or at his legs. She aimed for the place that they told her would render him a dead man. So as soon as she saw the brother, in her mind it was time to kill him, even if he was a burglar. Think about that. What if he was a burglar inside her house without a weapon in his hand? What should she have done? Arrested him.
So you know what to look for during each home
But because it was a brother, a black man, she does like every other white cop with a gun in their hand in front of aiming at a black man. When she pulled the trigger, she hoped for death.
Right.
Keep reading.
Time. Dallas prosecutors showed jurors racist and violent texts and social media posts linked to former Dallas police officer Amber Geiger as the sentencing phase began Tuesday afternoon. Following the Tuesday morning guilty verdict, the jury returned to the courtroom early in the afternoon. Text and social media. This screen's blank for some reason, but here is the one at the bottom.
Go ahead.
Jurors paid rapt attention as prosecutors displayed text by Geiger. The first text message thread presented to the jury was from January 15, 2018, during the Martin Luther King Jr. parade in Dallas. When does this end? Read a text to Geiger.
No, laugh out loud.
Laugh out loud. Con, I don't want con. When MLK is dead, oh wait, she responded.
Oh wait, he already dead. Now in the minds of white people, Martin Luther King was a champion for black people. Right? He was a pioneer for the rights, the civil rights of black people. So when she made that comment about, oh wait, meaning he's already dead, that was very insensitive and a very disparaging comment made by this woman pertaining to supposedly our slain civil rights leader. Keep going.
Just push them or spray your pepper spray in that general area.
So she's saying, to move them along, to quicken this parade, just spray your pepper spray in a general direction. They're going to smell it and get the hell on and leave. Keep going.
She said in the text while discussing the crowd at the parade.
Go ahead.
I'm going to read these text messages. This one at 2018, 1:15. You working this parade? And then it says the grandson's on the other side if she can get through.
It was one, go down, where it say, it was another one, man, talking about how she, how she felt working with black police officers. The bottom line.
Oh, here goes some more.
Don't worry about it, priest. But the bottom line is one of the tweets or one of the posts that she put out there was how different it is working with black people versus working with white people.
Yeah, here it go right here.
Go ahead.
It says, damn, I was at this area with 5 different black officers.
You see the exclamation points that she put right there?
Right.
That means extreme agitation and extreme exuberance about bringing this thing out. Go ahead.
Not racist, but damn.
So she's saying she's not a racist, but damn, it's so different working with black people. Meaning like it was some negative thing that she came away with working with other black cops. Which proved that she believed that everybody should be like white people. This is supposed to be a society built upon diversity, where you got everybody that's included in it. So quite naturally, if you understand the culture, everybody shouldn't necessarily have the same flavor as white people.
Right.
The fact that she would say that indicates that she believed that the white man is superior,
right,
and that everybody should somehow be like him, despite all despite his history. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Despite all of his treachery and his murderous attitude as it pertained to people with less than he has, to minorities, so to speak. Go ahead, Kodash Bar.
Then it's a couple more. It says not racist, but just have a different way of working, and it shows.
Meaning that we are lazy, shiftless, not capable, and that somehow she's better. Now think about what she did when she was around all those black people. What did she pretend to be? So much more professional. When really her text messages show how unprofessional she is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Her text messages prove that she's just a racist, man. Because if she wasn't a racist, what would she be doing? Like when I'm on my job and I want to get something done, I don't necessarily have to bargain people, tell them what to do. I just fucking just start doing it. And then people get up and start doing what they're supposed to do. You ain't got to be like that towards people, man. Go ahead, Hebrew.
To show how much more, like, unfit she was to even do this type of job, he didn't break into her house. She went into his home thinking it was her own home.
That's right.
And then they came back and said that the brother that lived across the hall from the victim that testified ended up dead a little while later.
That's what came out, that he testified against her. And he wound up dead, a week later, shot, based on her testimony. Now, it's always, think about those that got killed in, was it Mike Brown's? Not Mike Brown's, but, was it Mike Brown? All of them brothers that testified against that cop got killed, man. Man, we in this society, man, where brothers better come together, come out this goddamn hell, man. Right. We come out this hell, we ain't got to worry about facing the trial. Right. You see what I'm saying? I be wondering, like, damn, how am I so goddamn protected sometimes? And I'm sure a lot of y'all had that same experience. Like, since I come into the UPK, man, I very rarely have any police contact. Right. Before the UPK, damn, they was pulling me over every week. Right. Spending the weekends in jail and shit, man. Pulling me out the car. So now if they do pull me over, the one time that they have since I've been in the school, it ain't even get out the car. Let me search for what you got. It's why did you go 5 over in the 15? Right. You know what I mean? One day, listen, man, Salaki. One day, man, this is when I was very, very, very young. And they pulled me over, the police pulled me over, and he asked me, you know why I'm pulling you over? You know what I told him? I don't care.
Right.
I don't care. Here go my license, my registration, and my insurance. I don't care why you pulled me over. That's what I told him. He went back for about 5 minutes and came back. You know what he said to me? Have a nice day. I was shocked. I'm like, damn, I just knew I had a ticket. And I got smart with the bastard. He came back, have a nice day. I don't care why you pulled me over is what I told him. Which, I ain't saying that's how you talk to police officer. I'm telling you about some ignorance that I had going on when I was a very, very young man in the truth. Now when he pulled me over, y'all been with me, he pulled us over in the damn truck. I'm like, Slocky officer, what's the problem? He say whatever he got to say. I remember we was in New York, and I was doing a series of right turns on red. In New York, there is no right on red. And when the police pulled us over, he was like, I just watched you run 3 red lights. I was like, what? What you talking about? I just turned right on red. It's right on red in Michigan. That's where I'm from. And he was like, well, not in New York. You can't turn right on red. And then I'm thinking like, damn, there's always a bunch of goddamn people on that corner when you want to turn right. Waiting to cross the street because there's so much damn traffic. So I understood why they didn't have that law. But when the police pull you over, the UPK protocol is to be professional. Don't get smart with them, whether you got a license or insurance. That ain't what I'm telling people to do, Salaki. That's when I was very, very young in the truth. Go ahead,
it was just real heavy how you stated that you didn't care.
Right.
Because a lot of our brothers and sisters, when they see the cops, they beg.
Yeah.
They cower down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But we don't do that here in the truth.
You write that ticket.
Right.
Let me get on about my business. I ain't begging or nothing. And in fact, you know, I knew I was guilty of whatever he pulled me over for anyway.
Right.
I think I was speeding and I might have tossed something out the window or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I don't care. You know, then I got so arrogant, I rolled the window down that goddamn much and hand him all of that stuff right through the little crack.
Why you got about 10 bands in your pocket?
Good night. I got videos where I couldn't believe they had pulled me over, man. And I was so bold. So bold. But Khan, any other questions on this topic? Go ahead.
So like you, sir, to comment on Officer Daryala's point, like them cops, man, when they pull you over, it's like some type of climax or something when they hear you begging.
Yeah, man. They just got off.
Almost like ejaculation.
Exactly.
When they hear you, a black
damn
man
right.
begging not to get a $50, $100 ticket.
Man. Oh, please, man, what you doing? Yeah, not me no more. Now, can I say that I've never been such a lame? I can't say that. But this school build men.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Pull me over now, I'm a professional. Last thing I'm gonna do is beg you not to get a ticket. I do not care. I just don't care. Salaki. So what we were breaking down was
that woman.
Khan, so what happened, the thing that kind of got me was seeing all the hugs. Show me the video where the sister is doing her hair and the judge is hugging her, man. Oh my God, man. Think about all of the black men that have gotten thrown in prison behind just stealing some bubble gum out of a white person's shop. You know, it's brothers right now that been arrested for $2 offenses that's doing 20 years in jail.
That's right.
They just let a brother go. I think he stole less than $100. They let him go after 30 years in the penitentiary. Was it 50? He didn't hurt nobody, man. Didn't nobody hug him on his way to the penitentiary, man. No white person sympathized with him in 30 goddamn years. And he stole less than $100, man. But you see black people, and to me this is twofold right here. When you look at this, what does it show? It shows people that are totally beholden to their oppressor. It's sheep that are fed to the wolves. That's what this showed me, man. That no matter what, we always going to seek the approval of our oppressor.
That's right.
That's what these videos show me. But it also speaks to the compassion of black people. And I ain't saying that this was no way, shape, form, or fashion a good thing for them to embrace this white woman. But what it shows is that we don't have the same goddamn spirit. And I'm so happy of it. I'm so happy because the spirit on our oppressor is to just continue to rob, steal, and kill everybody that don't look and act and conform to his agenda. Right. That's the spirit on our oppressor. And it's been that way since the end of slavery, so-called. This brother, that judge, and that bailiff shows, man, we are a totally different people from them, man. Mm-hmm. Totally different people. You walk up in here, you actually accidentally killed any brother in here, I ain't ever forgiving your ass. You killed my goddamn brother, ain't no forgiveness, man, from the enemy. You understand that? The white people, Slaki, our oppressor, have proven himself to be our enemy per Deuteronomy, man. Right. Per the Lord's words, man. Right. I ain't forgiving nobody for any offense against brothers and sisters up in this organization. That's right. But you know, the brother, you know what I mean, like his brother, man, turning over in his damn grave right now, man. Disgusting. Anybody got anything more they want to bring out on this, man, before I end the class? All right, Most High in Christ, man, I turn the class over to priests and officers of Rock for the reading of security announcement. Shalom. On our neck.
ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, start out of 1 West, 125th Street out of Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother and sister comes in, when a new brother and sister comes into the school, they are off limits. For 6 months, they are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. They need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18 and 21, Malachi 3-10 means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ashra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Up and coming holy convocation is the Day of Atonement, which is tomorrow, October 7th. At 7 o'clock p.m., sundown, until Tuesday. The next day, 7 o'clock p.m., sundown. All right? That's very important. So no eating, no food, no drinking, none of that. So
Sundown, not 7 o'clock. Somebody said sundown.
Just say sundown to sundown.
So sundown to sundown, no food, no drinking for 1 day. All right? If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black. Boots, shirt, pants, headbands, and scarf. With that being said, I'd like to give a courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Majim Shabbat, Majim, Barak, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Brakatah, Yajim Matah, dismissed.